PYX 106.
It's 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Our pal Paul Harding from Martin Harding Mazzani on the phone.
You know that Saratoga cops settled with this Adam Rupeka guy who flipped off a cop, was then arrested, pepper sprayed. The cop quit because he was going to get fired. They came out last week, Paul, and they announced a settlement. They didn't give us a number. We heard tens of thousands. You don't have to tell us, but do you know the exact amount?
No, I don't. In fact, no one other than the attorneys and, of course, Mr. Rupeka know what that amount is. But the uniqueness around it is freedom of information or a FOIL request at some appropriate time in the future. I'm not sure how many days they have to wait, but we'll reveal that. And I assume that the Times Union and other agencies are going to kind of figure that out. So, oddly, they decide not to release that amount, but there was a settlement done pretty quickly, and we will all find out, shortly.
In your experience, when they don't release the amount, does that mean it's not a lot, or is that why, and why don't they?
Yeah, it's not as much that, but we have a situation where Mr. Rupeka, of course, has a website, blockcops.com, and he's in the Block Cop website and other things like that. I believe what we have here is they had an agreement in the settlement that said non-disclosure. And those are kind of typical, but it means that the Saratoga folks and the county folks who delivered the cash, they can't talk about it, but also Mr. Rupeka can't talk about it in his websites or any of that stuff. So the reason for doing it was so, I believe, so he did not, tout this, and maybe other people say, hey, what a great idea, why don't we copycat this and things like that. So it'll come out, but it won't come out through his disclosure, and I believe that was the rationale behind it.
Just one final question on that topic. If for some reason it did get out, and he was responsible for talking about it, would it negate his ability to receive the money?
Well, no, but it would be another claim against him, meaning it would be a second action. Sure, they'd look to get the money back and maybe beyond. I've read those agreements, and they sound pretty daunting if you're the plaintiff, if you're the person signing them.
Yeah.
It really feels like, hey, if I do this and they can prove this, I might lose my money. I might lose a lot more.
So they don't tell us the amount of cash. Paul said it will find out, but because they don't want copycats. That was my thinking, too. But do you think the story's big enough to produce at least a copycat or two in this?
Well, first of all, you got to be a unique individual to be sort of provoking police involvement, right? So he's driving around, got his finger out, and, the theme is, hey, police are not there to give attitude adjustments, right? And that's what they wanted to do.
How unique is that nowadays, though? I
feel like it's more common than it was when we were kids.
I feel like someone sees this story and they think, well, I'm going to go out and this is what I'm going to do,
Well, the story's a great lesson for probably all the police officers who show so much restraint every single day, and they all do. Now, Mr. Baker here, he lost it, right? He just kind of couldn't put up with this guy, and he sprayed him, and what he did was wrong, and he's being punished for it. But I think the rest of the police force, not only here, but nationally, keep hearing stories about this. Everything's being videotaped. Everything's there. So, they're just going to have to, and they're pulled over no matter what's said or done to them. As long as it's just wise guy stuff like this, they need to keep their cool. So, otherwise, they're going to be in the same situation that Officer Baker was, and, of course, it had a tragic story, at the end.
Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzani on the line. Last question for me. It's really more of a statement, but I thought this was interesting. I saw it on Facebook, local cops sharing Rupeka's name, his website, his picture, saying, if you pull this guy over, call your, commanding officer or the guy above you before you do anything. Have you ever heard of anything like that, Paul?
No, I haven't really. I think that Rupeka is a guy that if you pull him over, I think you just got to be super careful. I think they should consider that with all people,
right.
Especially when you have this provocation. That's a uniqueness. If you have a fast start or you're burning rubber and you pull a guy over, it's different. This guy giving the finger to the police. The police just need to. And again, it doesn't mean it can't result in an arrest. It just means that it has to follow procedure and process. It sure does.
All right. Thanks, Paul. We appreciate it. And I assume that these guys are going to see bumper stickers on the back of this guy's car because he's kind of out there for all the public to see. So
probably a Bernie Sanders sticker.
Yeah, be careful. but but it sucks that the police have to now worry about that crap. They're going
to worry about their own lives.
Yeah.
Now they're going to worry about, here's the deal. People flip people off all the time. It's no big deal.
Yeah. That's a great point, too.
It's
all right.
a tough job.
Yeah,
it is. Tough job.
Paul Harding from Martin Harding Mazzani. Paul, as always, thanks. Good to hear from you.
Let's
thanks
go
for
get
the.
some Black Lava.
It's PYX 106.
Thanks, Paul.
Quinn and Cantera. Slicing the Righteous. Mornings on PYX 106.